What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Geek Fest Live. Great to see everybody. So I am back again, and it's 2022 for a new round of Geek Fest Live. I hope you guys are doing great. I am excited to be back. I want to say hey to AJ. Thank you, man, for joining in. Radar, what's going on, man? So if you guys didn't see, we're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff today. I want to cover the Illuminati rumors, talk about the CW bankruptcy and what that could mean. We're, of course, going to talk about the Riddler's costume, and I have a few thoughts on that, and some other Doctor Strange rumors. And I have a few other things I kind of want to go through. There's some Batgirl stuff that's coming out right now. There's, quite a few fun things that are going to be happening. And I'm very excited for it. So, sound off. Remember, this is open forum. I want you guys to comment along with me. You got any thoughts, anything like that, you let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's have some fun. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. I don't know. They do something new here where it's like they made me smaller. I just don't feel like I needed that. Make it an option. Don't force it on me, you bastards. So I am coming back. Of course, I was sick last week, and I am feeling better. I got a little bit more of a cold, I guess. Might have gotten stuck next to somebody, and maybe they gave me something, or I ate something. I have no idea, but I do feel better though. I am back and ready to go. Tomorrow night's gonna be a lot of fun. We got an all new Snobs podcast, and we are starting a new long form discussion that we used to do back in the day. We used to have a show called Mystery Elf, and Casey and I and another guy, and we used to have long conversations about certain things that kind of revolve around the world of movies, comic books, things like that. So in this scenario, this is a new one where we're going to cut it up in phases, and we're going to look at the world of the MCU universe, of course, from the eyes of everyone else. We're not heroes. We're not that. We are the ones who are maintaining the world around us and having to live in it, in this world of heroes and villains. And we're going to get really in depth with it. Tomorrow's phase one, and I will. After this, I will be making up the announcement, putting it out for the podcast. But we're going to continue that on. We're going to start with phase one and kind of continue on in the weeks. We will have other stuff we talk about as well, but that is going to be our main topic going forward for a little while. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys will have, will be some laughs and along the way and things like that. So, anyway, we are going forward, and I am. I've been trying to keep research and stuff like that. I had family in town yesterday, so I couldn't do the show, and I didn't even get a chance to shave yet, so I looked like a bum. Please don't mind me. But I wanted to start off by talking about. Share the screen. Let me know what you guys think too. If there's anything that you've heard or you want to talk about, I'd love to hear it. So let me pull this up, and that is going to be. We're going to start with the Riddler. The Riddler's revealed uniform, I guess. So here's the thing: if you guys follow me on TikTok, I kind of went into a little bit of depth about this. A lot of people are hating on this. Here's my thing. I don't hate it. I know they're going for like a Zodiac type of vibe, which to me fits the motif of what a Riddler would kind of fit in a dark, rough style of world that Batman is in. You also have the Zodiac, which has always been like a Jack the Ripper type, has always been an interesting serial killer throughout time. So now, if the Riddler kind of fits in that, like he, it's also, it adds to the element that it's going to be more of a detective story. And I dig that. I like where they're going to go with it. A lot of people don't like it. They want the suit. Here's the thing. We created this. This look right here, that's on us. That's the fans. We have created a world where we don't accept, in DC anyway, and I'm merely going DC, and hold criticisms to the end, because trust me, I have a point here. It's going to be a little long-winded, but just deal with me for just a few seconds. So we have created a world where we cannot accept villains on the DC side anyway, and this is strictly where I'm going with DC. We're going to talk about Marvel tomorrow. We'll talk about Marvel tonight too, but Marvel costumes, things like that, we'll talk about that. We're going to touch down on that as a topic tomorrow. But DC, my biggest issue is that we don't accept characters from DC and how they look in the comics on the big screen. We don't do it. We didn't, and it goes back as far as we can tell. Like, we liked the Joker in Batman 89 because he was more disturbing than Cesar Romero's Joker. That was childish for us back in the day. And to kind of give a history of it, we accepted Danny DeVito's Penguin because he was, for the time, horrific. Now, I think if you look back, you look at it, he looks ridiculous. Actually, I'm in the very small minority where I was like, this is a little ridiculous back then. But even Catwoman, we can't accept the Catwoman unless she looks realistic. That's why I think people are going to accept Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, more than any other, in my opinion. Because the closest, we like Dan Hathaway, but still there was that look there that kind of reminded you of Batman 66. And we don't seem to look on fondly. And now I'm not just talking about Batman, I am talking about DC. After Batman Begins, and especially The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger's Joker, we have gotten to a point where we cannot accept anything going forward that villains in the DC world on the big screen can look like their counterparts on the page. Steppenwolf went through 2 changes. Now, most people who read the comics maybe know who Steppenwolf is. I've been reading, I have, my DC collection is huge. And I think I remember Steppenwolf just a bit. Like, I never even really cared. So when I heard he was the bad guy, I'm like, all right, whatever. But that's not my point. My point is, we didn't accept his look. We didn't accept Cheetah's look. And now we can argue Kristen Wiig being right for that role or not. That's not the point. My point is, she went on and became a full Cheetah woman, just like Cheetah on the screen. Not on the screen, on the page. And we did not accept it. We were like, nope, this is too ridiculous. We can't deal with it. I think Heath Ledger's Joker changed us in such a way where we can't even accept it. Even by the time The Dark Knight Rises came out, there were parts of that story where you're like, I can't accept this. This is too cartoonish. And now with every entity, we just can't accept it. We can accept it on the TV screen. We can accept the animated movies. We can accept all that. But we couldn't even accept Ben Affleck really as Batman. Henry Cavill, as much as we liked him, we had to warm up to him. I think a lot of people forget how they felt about Henry Cavill when that movie first came out. I liked that movie when it first came out. And I was still like, it's too many. To me, it was too many Clark Kent Supermans at once. I mean, when that came out, we still had, we were coming off Smallville. We still had Brandon Routh, who was a fine Superman. Now, it was not a great movie, but he was a fine Superman. Still cartoonish. We couldn't get behind Lex Luthor there. So when we're getting these characters and they actually kind of look like they belong on the page, but they're on the big screen, we do not accept them. We don't. We have to be real about this, and we have to be honest. We don't accept them. And that's because after seeing Heath Ledger as the Joker, and then Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker as well, we don't want cartoonish anymore. And they're not going to screw up their biggest moneymaker. Batman is DC's biggest moneymaker. And I promise I will get to the comments right after this. I want to have this conversation. They will not ruin their biggest moneymaker. It is not going to happen. So, with that being said, we're going to get this. We are going to get a Zodiac-style Riddler, and we're going to have to deal. And we're going to have to realize, like, This is what's going to happen to the villains in Batman going forward. I mean, and again, not to touch down on the MCU too hard, but the MCU, we've done that too. And perfect example being the Green Goblin. Like, he had to break that mask symbolically in No Way Home because we hated it. And we did. And we're happy about it. They listen to us. That's why I like MCU. But DC does not listen to us. They just think that they know what we want because based on how we've reacted in the past. Now, I don't mind this look. That's my point there. I like the look. It's fine. I think it will fit the detective motif of the movie, the darkness, and making him a psychopath. I dig it. If you want the Riddler as the Riddler, go watch. I hate to say Batman Forever, but go watch that, or go watch Gotham, and you'll get it. He was a really good Riddler on that show. So now I do want to touch down on this. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and before I'm done, I promise you, I want to touch down on one more thing in terms of the costumes that I have up, and that is the Penguin. And the reason I'm saying this is because, there we go. So this is Colin Farrell as the Penguin, right? Now, to me, I love this version of the Penguin. This almost in the world of crime version. I was not a huge fan of who he was in comics early on, who he was on the Batman TV show early on, who he was in Batman Returns early on. I thought they never really knew what to do with the Penguin. He was fine for the golden age of comics, which worked in the way they told stories, but you could not evolve him. And they did. You could not evolve him in that way, with that background. But I like how Colin Farrell is going to be playing this. I like the look of it. I think this looks awesome. I think this is the right turn. This is the Penguin that exists in these dark Batman worlds. I don't even think Christopher Nolan would have been willing to take this chance. And they are. And I really dig it. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. So let's get to the comments. All right. Yes, I love all the content for Heat bringing the fun. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Radar says, as long as they don't kill him, it has room to evolve as a costume, so I'm good with this. I hope he gets away by the end. I truly hope he gets away by the end. Let's see where it goes. I think Gotham TV show is most accurate villain costumes. I agree. On screen, absolutely. Absolutely. And to extend that a little bit more to the Arrowverse in terms of DC and their costumes with their villains and things like that, they do a great job. They darken the tone. They make it look a little realistic, but they add that element of this is how it was in the comics. This is who we recognize. Even Captain Cold at one point in, was it Arrow or The Flash early on when he was on. I dug it. I like the look. I was like, all right, I dig this. This is more realistic, but then at the same time, like, pretty great. Radar says, I want to see Gotham episodes in between the ending and the epilogue scene that shows the evolution of Riddler and Penguin costumes from what they were to what they became. Like, in the Gotham episodes. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I would love a coffee table book on that because Gotham was a good show. I think a lot of people sleep on Gotham and they shouldn't. No graphics tonight, by the way. I didn't make anything up. So it's just me and the screen, guys. Hope you enjoy it. I will be sharing screen and stuff like that. But, so what do you guys think they can do in DC to please people? Do we have to go dark like this? Because, I mean, it worked with Zod, going a little darker with Zod, and then it played it up really well. What do we got? Excuse me. That Colin Farrell Penguin looks like they could have him get into a fight and have a glass bottle shoved in his eye with his monocle from the Arkham games. Yeah, they could. And that's the thing. Between the games, between the movies, it's a dark world. I mean, Gotham's always been a dark world, but they're finally evolving to it. And let's face facts. The tights running around Riddler would never work. It would never work today in any form. I truly do not believe it. Now, the suit Riddler could work. But I think if you're going to do the suit Riddler, you need to take a note out of the animated series. I think that, in my opinion, that they did the Riddler perfectly in the animated series. I really like them. And anybody who reads Hush knows that they can do something really good with the Riddler. But that's what I want. I want a Hush movie. I think that would be amazing. All right. So let's continue on. Oh, what we got? What we got, that fool? We need a decent Green Lantern story. Gotta have more Deathstroke. I want to see Titans transition to the big screen. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but the Flash, unofficial Flashpoint movie, is going to be changing the DCEU in a big way. It's going to be completely taking out the Zack Snyder verse. That's gone. With that, I wonder if Deathstroke goes with it, or if he's going to be an entity that they keep. I mean, they introduced him, but taking out Superman, you have to take out Lex Luthor. And the only time we saw Deathstroke was with Lex Luthor, played by Heisenberg. So I'm wondering what they're going to do. So basically, anybody who doesn't know right now, the rumor is they're going to take out completely Ben Affleck is going to be in the Flash, but it's going to take out the Snyderverse completely. It's not going to exist anymore. Only thing that's going to exist is Aquaman, the Flash, and Wonder Woman, which aren't technically Snyder entities, but are, But they basically, this is to get rid of Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, and his name is escaping me at the moment. I feel bad because all the crap he went through. Cyborg. Sorry, I can't think of his name at the moment. So they're trying to get rid of them on that front. So, and they're going to restart. So Flash, the new Batman in the universe DCU now, is going to be Michael Keaton's Batman. They are not revamping Batman. They're not bringing a younger Batman into it. Matt Reeves has also said that the Batman movie is completely out of the realm. It has nothing to do with this universe, which is sad, but whatever. All right, they're bringing Michael Keaton back. He's going to be the Batman going forward. Now he's going to be in the Flash, and then he's going to show up in the Batgirl movie that they're making for HBO Max, starring what's her name from Birds of Prey. So she'll be playing. They're going to introduce a Supergirl, and it's going to be the Flash, Supergirl, and maybe Batgirl who start a new Justice League. And then they'll bring in Wonder Woman and Aquaman, I'm sure, down the line. But for now, that's the way it's going to be. Batman, I'm sure, might pop in, but I don't think he's going to be a mainstay. I think they're introducing him to be the main Batman and to mentor people. And I have some stuff to show off here in a minute. That might make it a little more exciting, but we'll see. I don't think that we are going to get another Batman for a while. But I speculate that because they're keeping an older Batman, maybe they will introduce a Batman after the movies kind of go on. They see how they do. And I'm thinking Terry McGinnis. I'm thinking maybe we get Batman Beyond. Here's my thinking. But before we get to that, let me show you this, because this is another rumor they had going on. I don't want to add to it. All right. Okay, so Batgirl, the Batgirl film has been showing off a lot of stuff. And let me pull it up so you guys can see it. I want to hear what you guys think when you do. All right. Is this one? Ah, there we go. Boom. All right. So this is an official mural from the Batgirl set, which we know uses Michael Keaton as Batman. Now look at it. We have essentially Michael Keaton's Batman here. Same outfit. And who do we have here? Robin. I'm thinking we are going to get Dick Grayson in Batgirl as Nightwing. And going forward for a while, they're going to test out Nightwing for a bit. I am excited for that. I would love to see a Nightwing movie. I really, truly, honestly would love a Nightwing movie. See what you guys are saying before. But go back to your original point, AJ. I would love to see a good Green Lantern story too. It's going to take a lot of work and a really good director to step in and be able to save it. Radar, what you got? My thing is, with the dark and gritty approach, I don't think we'll ever get some of the more outlandish enemies of the Bat everyone knows. I agree, and it's sad. I don't think they'd be accepted. I do not think they'd be accepted. I'm not saying you have to go. Look what they had to do to Harley Quinn. Now, Harley Quinn is a wonderful character. And she was never a hugely sexed up type of character early on in the animated series. She wore a tight outfit, really, and some jokes, but not really a completely sexed up. In the Suicide Squad movies, let's be real. I mean, you had Margot Robbie and they sexed her up, and that's what that became. Now, in the comics, they did as well, and again, I have nothing against that. I don't even care how they did it. I loved Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. But what I'm saying is, you couldn't have a non-sexy or one that isn't pushing the envelope of sexual nature in today's movies because it's not adult enough. If you don't, you can't. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, we are not going to get the characters from the pages in the DC world. I do not disagree with you, AJ, but it's what we got. We need to start over bad, honestly. I'm starting to lose faith in DC's direction. I am too, but I think they shot themselves in the foot in so many ways. They're trying to get themselves out of it, and they can't go backwards. They could just reboot again everything. But if they go backwards at this point, it's going to be a problem. We're going to have a big problem going forward. Radar, what you got? For Nightwing, they need to prove that they can do Robin. Otherwise, there's no point. Be that his backstory. I disagree. I would agree with you if it was a young Batman. But if you have Michael Keaton coming back, you might have to just go. You might have to just go with Nightwing, and I'm kind of cool with it. I mean, with everything else being changed, I'd almost rather a Nightwing at this point. Because you're never going to get the truly fleshed out story that Robin deserves. Not with an older Batman, not with everything else going on. They're not going to devote that much time and that much resources to Batman movies where they can develop the Robin right way. They're going to have to rely on the fans just loving Dick Grayson for who he is. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I truly don't believe it will work. All right, let's see what we got here. So, we're getting into more. Okay, so we are going to be. I'm trying to get to the page for the Illuminati. Okay. All right. So we are going to be getting the Illuminati coming forward. As you can see, we're getting it. We're getting closer and closer. We're in 2022 now, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming. And there've been a lot of rumors so far, and I think a lot of them being because of Spider-Man No Way Home. Between Loki and Spider-Man No Way Home, we are introduced to so many amazing opportunities that could pop up. AJ, what you got? Unless the multiverse is going to be the main element going forward, there's no sense to have 3 different Batmans, all these Flashes, etc. I 100% agree with you, my friend. I 100% agree with you, but they don't know what they're doing. And I think the multiverse is going to be a big mainstay going forward. And I think, whereas it was a choice and it is planned in MCU, DCEU is using this as a necessity to open it up. That's it. They are using this as a way to change things the way that they can. They are no plan, other than like immediate, like what can we do to make money off of these entities? And the only way to do that is, okay, we can get Michael Keaton's Batman back, but he's too old, so we're not going to get a lot of action out of him. He's more cartoonish compared to the gritty Batmans, which we're used to. So what are we going to do? We're going to add a new Batman movie, and that's what we're doing. Because if you remember, the Batman movie that is coming out was originally supposed to be a Ben Affleck starring and directed movie. They screwed the pooch. Unfortunately, it sucks, but it's true. So anybody who doesn't know who the Illuminati is, I think that people watch them. People in the future may not know. The Illuminati was in the Marvel universe, a group of basically the leaders of Marvel. It had Professor X. It had Namor, the Submariner. I think Black Panther was for a little bit, but not for long. But definitely Iron Man. Definitely Doctor Strange. I had it up before. This is one of the most famous. And but Mr. Fantastic. Oh, and Black Adam. Not Black Adam. I'm losing my Black Bolt. Sorry. So Black Bolt being the leader of the Inhumans. Fantastic Four, Reed Richards being one of the smartest human beings on the planet. Iron Man, Tony Stark being one of the richest and smartest human beings on the planet. Professor X, of course, leader of the mutants. Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. Namor runs Atlantis. It's a huge deal. So they would get together and they would ultimately make decisions for the rest of the universe. And some of them good, some of them bad, that they did what they thought was best. Sometimes it bit them in the ass, sometimes it works. But they always use this as sort of a plot device to move forward and say, okay, these are controlling everything behind the scenes ultimately. So they're going to introduce this, allegedly, rumored, but it's a pretty well substantiated rumor. So I'm thinking they're going to be introducing this, and that's why I'm saying I'm thinking, because I don't want to say it's definite or guaranteed. They're going to introduce a form of the Illuminati in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. And this is where Doctor Strange is going to come into contact and know who the Illuminati is. And I think ultimately that will create his own Illuminati in his own universe. Now, here's where it really comes into fun. But before we do that, Radar says they need to start putting in the dots for Secret Invasion. As of now, we only have four references to Skrulls on Earth. Far From Home, WandaVision. They throw a landline in no. Captain Marvel. Don't forget Captain Marvel on it. And a quick scene of Loki. So, here's the thing. We're getting it. It's coming. But Secret Invasion is not going to be the huge event. The next huge event that they're building to, I truly believe, and I would bet on, is Secret Wars. It's going to come. It's going to happen. They're building it up in the cosmos. I think we're going to see a lot more push of that in Thor: Love and Thunder. It's going to get interesting. I think Thor: Love and Thunder, I think we'll get hints of it in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, but in Thor: Love and Thunder is really where we get the hint of, a big push, I should say, in the hint to Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is going to be basically bigger than, but basically the next Ultron level event and how they build up. It will be bigger than Ultron now. Ultron got one movie. I think Secret Wars is going to get a TV show. It's going to be mixed into the movies. We're going to see a lot of faces come back. We're going to see a lot of faces that maybe weren't the people we thought they were. It is going to be interesting, for sure. But right now, the multiverse is setting up because they have to implode the multiverse. This has to go poorly. It has to build to things because I think Secret Wars is going to be their way of fixing it up the way they want it, connecting everybody. They're going to introduce many elements. They're going to introduce the X-Men. We are going to get an X-Men in there, I think, as the Illuminati, and I think it's going to be Professor X, and there's heavily rumored that we might see Jean Grey and Wolverine. Now, these are not going to be in hugely... we are going to get a fight, supposedly, between someone from the Fox entity and Wanda. And a lot of people are speculating it's going to be Jean Grey. So we're going to see a Jean Grey-Wanda fight. That'll be interesting. We're not going to get a Wolverine fight, but I hope we get the yellow suit. That would be awesome. So I think we're going to get Professor X running the Illuminati. Other rumors are that we are going to get Ian Gruffin, Gruffland, or whatever his name was, from the Fantastic Four movie. We might even get a cameo by Chris Evans as Johnny Blaze, but he won't be in the Illuminati. He'll just be a part of that world. We're going to get Ultron back, and the Ultron bots back, but they're going to be working with the Illuminati. And I think we're going to be introduced to Namor. And I think Baron Mordo is going to be a member of the Illuminati. That's why we see him in the trailer. I think that's the only one. I think he's going to be a member of the Illuminati. Maybe a Sorcerer Supreme from their universe. I think then we're going to get a variant of Iron Man. Now, hear me out. There are rumors right now, and I'm going to get to your comments in a sec. There are rumors right now that we could get a variant of Tony Stark Iron Man in Tom Cruise. Why is this ironic or funny or coincidental in some way? Because originally Tom Cruise was supposed to play Tony Stark Iron Man way back in the day before Jon Favreau took over the project and he advocated for Robert Downey Jr. Thankfully, it worked the way it did. But it could be interesting to see a variant of Tony Stark played by Tom Cruise. I think it could work. I think it could be fun. This is, again, all speculation and rumors based on things that I have been looking into. I've been doing my research quite a bit on this. So I think going forward, it could be really interesting to see what happens. Now, I don't think the Illuminati is going to play a huge role in Multiverse of Madness, but they are going to play a role, and they are going to set things up. I think they're going to be an introduction for some, and we're going to find out a lot more about others. So let's see what you guys are talking about. Not excited for Thor that much. If you really want Lady Thor, they have given us much more investment in Darcy as immortal than Jane. I agree with the Jane comment. I am very excited for Thor Love and Thunder. It's going to be brilliant. Trust me, get on the train. It's going to be funny. They're not getting rid of Thor. They're not getting rid of Chris Hemsworth. They're just not. He's going to be Thor Odinson. He's going to be who they need him to be. This happened in the comics. Lady Thor is just going to take over the moniker of Thor with Mjolnir. And if you saw, I talked about it on TikTok, but if you saw in the costume reveal, she is holding Mjolnir, and it has cracks in it. So I think it's going to be the original put back together, and she's going to take on and work with it. Thor is not getting pushed aside to be nothing. I think Chris Hemsworth's going to be around for a long time. He loves playing his character. He's just not going to be. He can't follow who Thor is right now. He can't. His whole storyline was perfect, and now he doesn't have to be Thor. He doesn't have to be the Thor of like protector of Asgard, this, that, and the other. He can move on. He doesn't have to protect Earth. Now let Thor Odinson go out and become who he needs to become. The next Odin, really. So I think we'll get some power there. But I don't think he's going away. I think he'll still be an Avenger. I think he'll still be a leader. I think he'll become a more effective leader by not having to run around and be Thor. If that makes sense. I think X-Men 97 will be backdoor for X-Men into the MCU. I do too. But I think they're going to start introducing soon. I think we're going to start getting a lot of a lot of things soon, and it's going to be interesting. AJ says, I can't wait for Thor. I think Null will be referenced. That'll be interesting. You had talked about them, too, with some of your theories, and I like it. I'm fine with whatever they do with Thor, just not excited for Jane. Listen, let's be real, though. They may not have set up Jane well in the MCU, but Natalie Portman is a great actress. She is a fantastic actress, and she dominates in most movies she's in. I mean, lest we forget The Professional, V for Vendetta, and many other outings that she had. So I think if she's going to step in, I don't think she does well as like a side character. I don't think she does. As an actor, I think she just dominates I think she's a better version of Brie Larson. I think she likes working with people. I think she likes working on Thor, but I don't think she just does well with being a side character. It's just not who she is. She's a star and she's a great actor. So, and I'm not saying that she won't do that. I'm just saying I don't think she does well with it. So when Thor: The Dark World did nothing great with her, really, and kind of made her a damsel in distress, she was kind of like, I don't want to do this. So, but I think she saw Thor Ragnarok and was like, this got much better, and I wish I was a part of that. And so now this is her way to step in and do that. I think her stepping in as Lady Thor is going to be fantastic. I can't wait for it. Let her take over and go do things and protect Earth as Thor. And then hopefully we'll get Thor Owens and Chris Hemsworth kind of rolling around doing his thing. I'm excited for it all. I think it will be interesting. Right now, Kevin Feige he knows what he's doing. He's probably the best producer of all time. Let's be real. The guy has put together something that nobody else could. Now, am I saying that the Marvel movies are the best movies of all time? No, but we all love them. I think that's an important thing. But am I saying that Kevin Feige could produce anything else? I'm sure he could produce other movies, but what makes him the best producer of all time is the fact that he has built a huge legacy of movies. And he knows what he's doing. He's made the right calls every time. And if they're making Lady Thor, especially with Natalie Portman, to bring Jane... I was afraid that they were going to make Lady Thor and not bring Jane back. I thought truly that was done. They weren't going to come back with Natalie Portman. The fact that they are, I'm excited. I'm glad she's back. And did you see how jacked she got for this? It works. I'm telling you. The wait to see Jonathan Majors again is going to be excruciating. It's coming. Hitman's coming. I think they're filming now. If not, they're filming very soon. So, excuse me. He's coming. He's going to be in it. And Bill Murray is supposedly going to be playing a bad guy in it. I did watch the Eli Manning show where he was on. And he was asked about Ant-Man. It was kind of very throwaway, but he was just like, nah, just play a bad guy. Like, I don't think he's going to be the main bad guy. He might be the main movie bad guy for Ant-Man, if that makes sense. But Kang is going to be an overall, show up in this movie, but be a much bigger entity down the line. What we got? My Illuminati is Captain Carter, Monica Rambeau, Reed Richards from Fantastic Four 1, Namor, Patrick Stewart, Professor X, Tom Cruise, Tony Stark. I like it. And I like Captain Carter, but do you think Monica Rambeau? Really? I don't know. I think Monica Rambeau will play an integral part in Secret Invasion. I mean, that's set up. I think she is going to be the star of that show. I don't see her in the Illuminati. I could see... because I like her, but she is still young. She's still unsure of herself, and I still think that she needs an entity all of her own. I could see Nick Fury being in it. And I could see, there is a rumor that there's Baron Mordo in it. I could see him being in it, too. But Captain Carter, I could see being in it. She was a very effective leader in that What If episode. She was a better super soldier than Steve Rogers was. Now, Steve Rogers was fantastic, but she had just as much She was more effective. Let's just say that. She was more effective because she did things the way that a soldier does things. And she lived by that code, and I dug that. So I could see her coming back in live action. I don't think they would have set it up in such a way. I think she, of course, is going to. And we're going to get her. We're going to get Lady Thor. We're going to get... I'm down for it. Let's do it. You know, she can be an Avenger. Let's have fun with this. Let's make it awesome. That's just where I'm at. So anyway, okay. What was my next one? Okay, so we talked about the Illuminati, and we're kind of winding down a little bit. So we talked about Doctor Strange. If you know of any other cameos, or you heard anything, please sound off. I'd love to hear what you got. Give me 2 seconds, everybody. Let me pull this up. Okay, so I don't know how many of you have heard this. People keep forgetting her brief cameo in Loki. Whose brief cameo in Loki? Captain Carter? Or who? Monica Rambeau? I am at a bit of a loss. Alternate universe Coulson in the MCU and the Illuminati. No, come on. Radar, you're better than that. I'm done with Coulson. I'm sorry, I'm done with Coulson. His sacrifice to me was wasted. Then they made a show that started out well, but it was mediocre, and the explanation of why he came back was stupid, in my opinion. Peggy Carter was in Loki? I have to rewatch it. I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember. Was she Captain Carter in Loki, or was she just Peggy? Oh, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I did know that, where she gets kind of walked through, right? It's just a background shot. That's interesting. So, you know, stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out. But if you're going to make an Illuminati, you have to make an Illuminati. And it has to be close to what it is. Fortunately, I don't think they'll do a Black Panther. He's gone. And nobody knows what the hell they're going to do with Wakanda Forever. But I am excited for it. It was like a 2 second. Yeah, no, I remember now. I do remember that Easter egg. It was almost an Easter egg cameo, really. So we're going to get an Illuminati, I think. It'd be stupid to not do one. But so we're going to get an Illuminati. I am hoping that we get a variant of Tony Stark. If not, maybe Robert Downey Jr., but that is wishful thinking, and I don't think it's going to happen. I hope we get a Reed Richards. Either they recast, and they actually talked about Glenn Howerton possibly being in, which he was originally the front runner for Peter Quill. But Chris Pratt beat him out last minute because he bulked up more. But I could see Glenn Howerton doing it, and I think it might be fun. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's speculating to a Fantastic Four movie we have not gotten yet. But it would be cool to see Ian from the original Fantastic Four show up. I really hope that if we're going to get anybody introduced, like brand new, we get Namor introduced. I think that'll be interesting. So going forward, we got all these characters that could possibly show up. But if we're going to do an Illuminati, I don't think you can do it with like a Monica Rambeau. And it's nothing against your choice. I just don't think she's set up well enough yet. I think they did a great job with her in WandaVision, but I think she's being set up for Secret Invasion. I really think that's going to be her show. So we'll see what happens. Now, going back to almost like the DC world a little bit, but other things. So the CW announced recently. Oh, wait, we got one more multiverse. Okay, Multiverse of Madness having Sue Mcgrath and Conan in Marvel Comics. Do you think we'll get a cameo from them? So no. And here's why. That's not Sue Mcgrath. It is, but it's not. They can't use the name. I don't know the whole rights. I can look it up, but I don't know the whole rights issue with it. So I think they're going to call it. I thought it was Gargantos because that's how it's Gargantos is a character from under the water. So I thought that was going to introduce Namor, but they said that this is going to be Sue Mcgrath, but they're going to call it Gargantos because they look very similar in a lot of ways. And the reason they're doing that is because they can't use Sue Mcgrath. And if they can't use that, I don't think they're going to use Conan. It'd be cool. I don't want Conan in the MCU. I want a Conan movie. I want a real Conan movie. That would be awesome. I would love a King Conan movie, but we'll see. But I just make a Conan movie for me, please. That's all I want. So going back to CW though, CW came out. They're bankrupt. They have, Warner Media and CBS Viacom are looking to sell because supposedly in its entire career since like 2005, 2006, whenever CW started, it has never made money. Now, how does this happen on a channel that gave us the Supernatural, gave us Gilmore Girls, gave us all of the Arrowverse, and so much more? Even like the hell is it called? Archie, the Archie comics, Riverdale. You know, all these stuff that seem like huge hits, but it's never turned a profit, is what they're saying. I can't even fathom this. It's never turned a profit. So they are going bankrupt, and we don't know what's going to happen. So right now they're looking to sell. This is so interesting to me. How do you do this? How does this? So just to read a little excerpt for you. TV viewers and actors who remember the merger between Viacom, CBS, and Warner Media that produced the broadcast network have taken to social media to discuss the way that UPN and WB shows were dropped, left unsupported, or died on the vine in the transition, a good portion of which were led primarily black casts. As CW pivoted away from some of the shows that had been successful before the merger, they created a new brand, one where the skews younger and primarily led white casts. They've worked to diversify over the past decade to mix results and have championed their Dare to Defy motto in this diversifying effort. Considering the broadcast network, it is home to some of the most influential teen and superhero television in the past 2 decades. News that the CW isn't profitable rocked the internet. It's also cited as the reason for the potential sale. What's consistently been confusing since the news broke is what this all means for the CW. While some rejoice over the potential downfall of the network for their history, which runs the gamut of racism, sexism, misogyny, homophobia, and the unequal treatment of actors and characters of marginalized, this is obviously a bias. Now, I'm not saying they don't do that, and there's plenty of things that I can think of that match what this writer is saying, but it is clearly not objective. For me, personally, I've wondered if the sale could mean the end of the hard-won progress the broadcast network has made. It is no way perfect. It is long overdue. And they are still stumbling both in big ways and small ways, but behind the scenes, talent, actors, and fans have been fighting for the CW to be progressive and diverse, and it touts itself to be. But whatever camp you're in, it's important for you to know the loss of this broadcast network could change the TV landscape, and we've known it. I'm talking about the potential loss of one of the last bastions of on-air teen young adult television, how this could affect streaming, future programming, in the CW's current lineup. So they have not turned a profit in years. And really what it's coming down to is, so now they want to sell. And what is this going to mean to the entities? Because if they sell the channel, they sell this network, and it goes to somebody else, now Warner is one of the companies that owns all of these Arrowverse characters, and they own a lot more than that, but they own the Archie and everything like that. So it could eventually mean that, they're going to go. Like, Warner's not going to want a deal, or they're not going to be able to afford it. Whoever opens this up, how do you afford that? So it's going to be an interesting thing. I don't understand how they have not turned a profit with everything. It's going to be mismanaging funds somewhere. 100%, absolutely. And I really think it's because it was a merger of two huge entities. CBS Viacom is huge. That was already a crazy merger as it was. People don't realize sometimes that Viacom was this ginormous entity in TV world. CBS too. CBS and Viacom coming together was a big deal. It may not have been a big deal to people in the forefront, but in the business world, it was huge. In TV world, it was even bigger. So when they teamed up with Warner Media to create, because one owned UPN, one owned WB, we all know owned WB, and when they merged those two, I think people forget, like, WB had shows like Buffy, shows like Charm, this, that, and the other thing. Started Smallville. And then they moved to UPN. So it all kind of came back together when it came to the CW. Like Buffy moved to UPN, whereas Angel stayed on WB and kind of continued that way and went on to the CW. It's a whole growing tree of craziness. My point being, now that these two want to sell off because it isn't profitable, I want to know how the money was working where it couldn't be profitable for the two of them. They put so much money into these entities, all these shows. Does the Arrowverse just go away? And they've been working hard to create like a Riverdale universe where they created Sabrina. It wasn't a CW show, but they created Sabrina and they introduced her onto Riverdale. Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys, other things. And they're building it all as this thing. Now, do I care if the CW goes away and we don't have teen shows anymore? No, I don't. Let's face facts. I don't care if Walker Texas Ranger remake goes away or not. I love Supernatural and it's gone. So that's where my allegiance to CW lies. I bowed out on the Arrowverse a long time ago for good reason. So where this goes now is going to be a big deal. How many people are going to lose their jobs? Because if it's not profitable now with these shows, it's not going to be profitable with somebody else buying it. It's going to be pretty crazy. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. It's a shocking thing in the world right now. Let's kind of move on as I'm kind of going down. We are getting prepped. I've been doing a lot of collecting lately. As you guys know, I collect Funko Pops, I collect figures, I collect comic books, whole 9 yards. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, make sure you do. It's at the Scene Snob on Instagram. That's where I share most of my collectibles, things like that, and other stuff we do. And TikTok, also at the Scene Snob. I do my unboxing videos on there, and I share them all around. I do theory videos on there, stuff like that. So, anybody who's listening, if you want, make sure you follow us. Just go to thescenesnobs.com, and on there, there's links to everything. So we are building up, here's my big thing right now. We are building up our Discord. I'm doing my best. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it if you're a part of it. I am learning as I go when it comes to Discord and what works, what doesn't work, what people like, what they don't like. Hopefully, if you guys are interested, I want to start holding the conversations on there. I want to do this. I want to have the live shows. I want to do them live so we can all talk and have a good time. But I'm thinking about doing, conversations on there where we can all text and talk and stuff throughout the day. I've had a lot of fun on other Discords. I want to do this, on a Scene Snobs Discord where we talk geek, talk horror movies, we talk superheroes, theories, the whole 9 yards. So if you guys are interested, please join up on our Discord. If you go on to thescenesnobs.com or you touch our link tree, everything, all the links will be down in the description. You can find us there and just join up, and we'd love to have you. So, and please, once you're in it, please feel free to post whatever you want, whatever topic, conversation, things like that. Let's have a good time with it. That's what I want, a good community. So with that being said, AJ, you have a comment? Let me check it out, see what you said. I mentioned before sending you some items. Can I yet? Yeah, do me a favor. Send me a message. I want to ask you about Real Combat 2 coming up. I want to get you and Jason on. So we'll wrap about that stuff. I like this idea, and I've been a part of movie nights. I want to. I just don't have a big following for it right now. There's not a lot of people who want to do it. So, anybody who wants to do a movie night, I would absolutely love to do that. Let's do it. Let's get it set up, maybe on Scener, or we all just watch and talk on Discord. Absolutely 100% I am down for that. So, let's get that started. I am in, and I'm also taking recommendations of what we should watch. So coming up this week, so again, we're going to have the Snobs podcast tomorrow night at 9 p.m. You can listen to it live, or you can watch or listen live, or you can listen to it and watch it anytime, either on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about, let me pull up the topics real quick. Got some fun stuff getting ready for you. So our topics for tomorrow are as follows. Do you prefer movie news pre-internet, early internet, or today's way? We're going to really be getting into that one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Comic book movie costumes versus source material costumes. We're going to talk a lot about MCU. We talked a lot about DCU tonight. We will talk about that too, but we are going to touch down on the MCU and like what we like, what we don't like. And then the big one is going to start our new mini-series. It's going to be our phase 1, our exploration of the MCU through the eyes of everyday people. We're going to be talking about it from like, how does all of this flight and everything that's going on affect the FAA? How, and other things like that. There's a lot of topics that we're going to be getting to. It's going to be going on for a while, and we're going to be covering it. And it's going to be hilarious, and it's going to be a great time. So please make sure you jump in on that. So that is where we are with that. What we got? Yeah, so movie nights on Discord. I do love that idea. So I am in. We should do that. And I'll think of something, and maybe we'll get everybody on board, and we can have a fun movie night where we can get everybody going. So if you're not a part of the Discord, please join up. Also, we have an all new mixed movie picks, snowy movie edition. Hopefully you guys like it. So again, Scene Sounds podcast will be all new tomorrow. No Real Combat this week. I just didn't have time to find 2 people and record it. So we will be coming back soon, very soon. But I will have a Scream, few things coming up. I'm going to have a Scream review, probably Thursday night, if not Friday. That'll be up and you can check that out. I'm probably going to do a non-spoiler and a spoiler. So beware of that. Also, we have some fun news, and I think it'll be a great time, and hopefully you guys can be a part of it. So I can't get too much into details, but I can announce we have been asked back to the Carolina Fear Fest this year. Very excited about that. It is a great horror-based festival in Carolina, down in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're going to have such a great time. Last year, if you guys saw, we did the live stream. Hopefully we'll be doing that in some capacity again, doing the interviews and the panels again. We're going to have a good time with it. It was a great time last year. Everybody, all the celebrities and everybody was attending. We met a lot of great people there. Radar was one of them. He worked the fair and worked the convention, and it was just so much fun. It was just like friends getting together, having a good time. And we hosted a fun show, and hopefully you guys will be a part of it. If you can make it down, make it out, make sure to do that. There will be more details coming up as I get them. But all I can announce is going to be there. There's Radar. Yep. Hell yeah, brother. So let's have fun there. Also, Horrific Hope Film Festival here in Winchester, Virginia. It's going to be April 29th, 30th, and the 1st. It's a mental health awareness horror film festival. I really like the idea. If I'm not doing it justice, it is really cool what they're doing. So Victims and Villains is putting it on. They are a mental health-based podcast that also covers movies, things like that, from that mental health aspect to help, like I said, build awareness for psychiatric help and, just the psychology of it all and just bettering people and helping them. I love it. I think it's a great thing. We have been asked to help out in a big way, and I don't want to officially announce it yet, but I'm going to say we will be hosting something one of the nights. We'll also be a part of it because it's going to be online virtual and it is going to be in person, both here in Winchester, Virginia, where I live, and I am super excited to say we're going to be there for the whole thing, but we are going to be hosting an element of it. So please check that out. Go follow them on Facebook. I will link that down below as well. I will link Carolina Fear Fest so you can check them out. Even if you just watch or something, it's a lot of fun. We have made our donations. We took all of our Patreon earnings for this month, and we donated to 2 animal shelters. One is an animal shelter. It's the Jim Beam Cattery, and that is in Illinois, and that is to helps more than just cats. It helps a lot of different animals, animal shelter, and it goes a long way. So we donated half to there. We donated the other half to Dakota's Dream, which is here in Virginia, and they do go a long way too. Animal shelter. We're doing that in honor of Betty White's passing. Also, I'd be remiss to say that if we lost Betty White, we lost Sidney Poitier, we lost John Madden, and last night we lost TV's dad, Bob Saget. I love Bob Saget. His comedy was always amazing. I loved him on Full House when I was a kid. I loved him on How I Met Your Mother as the narrator. He was truly fantastic. He was a wonderful guy. I got to meet him once. I was very excited about that. He was a very sweet human being. Funny. Funny. It was a good time. But, it was brief, but I was so lucky to say that I was in his presence before he passed. And he was a wonderful person. So rest in peace, Bob. We miss you. We love you. And our heart goes out to you and your family. So, guys, thank you again for watching. I always appreciate you. Radar, AJ, thank you for joining in on the conversation. If you're watching this afterwards, thank you very much. Hit that like button here on YouTube. That goes a long way to help us with the algorithms. We are trying to build up. Once we reach 500 subscribers, we're at 266 right now. We have a Mandalorian Funko Pop, which is very cool. I don't have it in front of me to show you at the moment, but it is brand new in a box for you guys to one lucky winner subscriber will win that. Also on our TikTok, once we reach 1,000, which we are at, we're close to 500 right now, but once we reach 1,000, we will be doing a giveaway of a Boba Fett Funko Pop. So we are also, for our Patreon, we're going to have our monthly prize giveaway, which I will announce tomorrow on the Scene Snobs podcast. Every month we do a monthly prize giveaway for one of our patrons, and tomorrow we'll see who wins. All right, everybody. So until next time, I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. We got one more comment here. AJ, have a great night. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you being a part of it. Remember to message me either on Facebook or Instagram or email, whatever you want to do. Whatever works for you, brother. We'll go from there, and I want to get you on Real Combat. So make sure you do that. And if you guys are interested in being on Real Combat too, please email us at thescenesnobs@gmail.com. All right, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. Happy 2022, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original and fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.